Hi lovelies, so welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, to my channel members, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I thought to share with you guys. I actually posted the first part of this video 2 days ago about the new term European American, and I was able to put out some of those stitches by pen-colored people reacting to this new term. If they're going to accept this new term or not, let's just find out on this video. I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
Tony got really upset that I called him a European American. Tony then goes on to say that I use filters because I want to look like him. Tony, I don't know how to tell you this, but when the sun hits my skin, it glows. It doesn't turn red. I like it when my food is spicy. I love it when music has rhythm. European American women love it when I speak Spanish to them. The only filter I use is reality. Tony then goes on to say to speak English because I was born in the US and that Mexico will never accept me. Tony, I'm about to burst your bubble, but English is from England, not the US. Now, Tony, I'm going to tell you something and it's going to blow your mind, but I was born in Mexico. I live in Mexico. I grew up in Mexico. I went to school in Mexico. And I'm doing just fine. Better than most European Americans, actually. But anyways, guys, Tony apparently knows more about my own life than I do. But what are you gonna do? European Americans. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. When the US sends its people, they're not sending their best. Homeless European Americans are becoming a phenomenon in Mexico. Check out this video.
La CDMX ya está muy gentrificada, ya tenemos vagos gringos.
I've been on the road fucking over 500 days over some bullshit in my fucking own country.
Here is another instance of a European American opening doors for Mexicans at an Oxxo store in Mexico to get a little bit of money. And then here's another instance of a European American woman asking for 50 pesos in Mexico City. There's also been reports of a large number of homeless European Americans in Puerto Vallarta, in Cancun, and Mérida, and basically all over Mexico. And from personal experience, when I go to Mexico City, yeah, for whatever reason, there's a lot of homeless European Americans. It's so bizarre. Like, I understand that being homeless might be like a culture thing in the US. I think California alone has like 180,000 homeless. And I know it's a really big problem, but supposedly Americans immigrate to Mexico for a better life because they can't afford to live in the US. And somehow, many of them end up homeless in Mexico too. But there you have it, guys. Homelessness is becoming such a big problem in the US that it's starting to spill over into Mexico. Let me know what you guys think. Are becoming a...
Tell me you hate the United States without telling me you hate the United States. The reason they going over there is because everything is cheaper. Everything they get from the government, they can buy it over there. Drugs are like 5%, no, 100% cheaper than the United States. Over there you can buy drugs left and right, marijuana, everything, very cheap and expensive. And that's why they go over there. Fuck, they live out on the streets over here. They can go over there and do the same thing, but have more of the drugs. That's very easy.
When the US sends its people, they're not sending their best. Homeless European Americans are becoming a...
He really said European Americans. Homeless European Americans. Oh my god. Oh my god. Someone send that one to Trump. Please, just send it to Trump.
I love this video. This right here is a big part of why African American never sat right with me. Certainly, if you are, and that's the term you prefer, then for sure, but like, it feels really othering to me. We don't call most white Americans European Americans. Why? You know, we all ended up here from somewhere else, you know, within the past couple hundred years. So I think European American is pretty fucking accurate. And like, especially, like, to me, I feel like, to a certain extent, like, African American, black people are more American than European Americans. Like, America was literally built on the backs of black people, so.
This was like a racial commentary in this video, and I'm going to say one thing about this app. We are so freaking identitarian in here. And we're just complaining all the time. Like, it's always complaining about something. It's always conflict. I was trying to think about, like, what do we do as human beings anymore? Because I'm like, because all we do is basically bitch all the time. It's kind of lame. But I'm going to say this. I'm very excited about being called a European American because I am a European American. My ancestors lived on European soil for thousands of years. Thousands and thousands of years. Whether that was Italy, whether that was Denmark, whether that was, you know, all these other nations, Spain, they were all over the place, but they were in Europe for thousands of years. So I don't see, like, why I shouldn't call myself a European American when this country is so new. You know, what's wrong with that? What's so horrible about that? I like to embrace the cultures of Europe because those are cultures that were partly created by my ancestors. I see nothing wrong with it. I think it's a beautiful thing to embrace your European heritage. And I think it's beautiful for people of other ancestries to embrace their heritages. And I think it's great to share them. I think this is all wonderful. Let's do that. I hope that doesn't seem terrible to people, but yeah. And I think we can stop complaining because there's a lot to look forward to in life. Maybe we can find more hobbies than being so confrontational with each other. And I'm just as bad. But it'd be nice if we all stopped. And just maybe became more friendly with each other. Found the positivity in life. Be happy. I don't know. Maybe that's hard for people. Easier to complain. I know life's hard.
European here, or more to say a Swedish, Finnish, Sami, indigenous individual. So you're not the only one using the term European American. There are many of us here in Europe who uses that, especially the ones who have a lot of communication with these so-called European Americans and indigenous people. We also use the term European Americans. I've used the term European American for a long time now. I can't even remember when I started using it, to be honest. I do remember it was to piss off some racist bastard, though. I just can't remember exactly when it was, because I pissed off a lot of racist bastards. But yeah, it is a term to use towards people who have a European descent. Being that there are many of these European Americans who, you know, always use, oh, but I'm Swedish, I'm 10% Swedish, I'm 10% Norwegian, I'm 10% this, I'm 10% that, blah 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 blah. But yet, when you then call them European Americans, they go, I'm not European American, I'm American. I'm not European. But you just said you were 10% Swedish. You just said you were 10% Norwegian. You know, it's like, why can you claim the percentage of your ancestry, but you cannot claim the fact that you're European? You cannot take the title of European American. Why? Right? So yeah, so I've been using that term for a very long time just to get that conversation started, and to call them European Americans, because that's what they are. Their ancestors are from Europe. Many of the ones I'm talking to are from Norwegian, are from Norway and Sweden. Jesus, I've just woken up. It's 6:42 a.m. Sorry about that. So yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna raw dog it. This is not gonna be a blooper. I'm not gonna cut this. So yeah. Europeans, Americans are European Americans. There are people who are descended from here, and you're not alone calling them that. There are a few of us, or there are a lot of us here who call them in Europe who calls them that as well. So yeah.
American, but he was right in talking about how you people will insult Mexican Americans for no fucking reason other than because we're American. And then you will turn around and do this bullshit of Mexico don't claim you, as if you spoke for the entire fucking country.
I'll tell you what European American are. European American are the people that don't get fucked with when it comes to immigration. European American are the people that get to slide by while everybody else has a hyphen next to their name, like Latin American or African American or indigenous, like all these other things, Native American. But you guys don't have a European, huh? European American. I wonder why.
It's because half of them wanted to still own slaves and the other half wanted to be able to make them part of a federal bureau system. So in other words, put them into jail and start tax and then, essentially free labor for the capitalists. So on both sides of the story, since 1492, leading all the way up to 1867 and 1890, I can't remember what it is, 1889 or something like that. And then we get into modern day society and whatnot. So it's just really, really crazy that there's a whole bunch of Americans that don't even understand that their family is actually European. And it just gets even worse than that. I mean, like, their parents probably came over in the late 1700s, late 1800s. And that was only after Manifest Destiny, which was caused by the Europeans in the first place. So they don't want to own up to their own bullshit. It's freaking hilarious. They're European Americans. Have a good day.
Hey TikTok, it's your favorite European American teacher here. That's right, I said European American. Well, I do have a smidge of native blood. The French, English, Irish, Dutch, and Welsh in me has washed over me, figuratively. And what kind of washing are you saying? Well, we're not going to say that right now because I don't want to use that term anymore. My skin color was never a source of pride for me growing up. Most of my friends were not the same color as me, and it wasn't until about 4th grade that I started to actually have a few friends this color. And then later on, I started learning about my country, and I was proud of things my country did, and then I found out things my country did and I was no longer proud of things my country did, especially for the reason that they did them, which had a lot to do with the color of skin. And then later on I found out about what British people did with colonization around the world, and guess what? Skin color involved in that too. So, I am a European American, and I will stay a European American. That other one? Yeah, I'm gonna leave that for the nationalists.
Like, seriously, lovelies. Okay, for the sake of those of us, joining us, for the first time, and also about the new term that is circulating on social media. So this, Mexican guy have been making tons of videos, and, I think he's also calling out the character at which these pan color people exhibit, sometimes, how it is and how they can be. So anytime he makes video, he used that term, European, America, and all of that. And somebody, a pan color person, decided to, send him a message coming for him, canceling him, that there is nothing like that. Like, this second pan color person was not the actual first pan colored man that was all out for him, telling him that he should stop using the phrase European America. And the guy was like, why would you tell me to stop using that phrase when every other person have that set phrase? We have what they call Black Americans, we have what they called Mexican Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic, like all the terms added with Americans and Americans. And when they want to use, or maybe they want to describe a pan color person, they just call it American. Like, he was like, why is it so? Why are people not also using the term European American? Because every other person is just as immigrant as every other people that this term have been used upon. The real owners or the real indigenous people are the real indigenous Americans, like, the real people, the people that actually owns the land, the people that was there before the colonizers came and took over. So he was like, if they're going to use this term for every other person but European, but Black Americans, Mexican Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, like all the Americans that they've been using, that they should also do that by using European Americans. Because these colonizers, these people that often think that they are the real Americans, the owners of America, are also visitors. Like, they also migrated. That is not their real, land. They stole the land from the real originals. Like, and me on the other hand, I was like, why not maybe European American and also Caucasian American? Because since everybody is being termed, then they should just do it from the beginning to the end. If they should have a European American, there should be something like Caucasian Americans, since the real people are actually the real originals, like the real the indigenous people. They are the real people, which happens to be people of the brown copper skin. Like, and everybody know this people. So this has actually caused a lot of controversy on TikTok. A lot of pan-colored people are just, wow, what is happening? What is going on? Are they trying to strip off of our identity? Are they trying to like come take away what we built in? Like, oh my goodness, this is so funny, and at the same time, it's very educating. I told myself that, this year is a year of everybody getting it woto. Like, if you feel that you are that important, if you feel that you are the, oh my God, you should actually start thinking, like, try as much as you can to discriminate against people, but there is a discrimination in your body. Like, seriously, this is the act of when you are pointing someone with one hand, 4 fingers, like when you're pointing someone with one finger, 4 fingers are pointed directly towards you. Like, they never saw this coming. Like, they never thought about, European Americans and all that. Like, me personally, sometimes I question myself. Why is it that every other person, every other, ethnic comes with something America, the other America? Why is it that these pan-color people don't also have something to, like, something America? And I just stumbled across this video. I was like, you see, I'm not the only one thinking about this. A lot of you actually left so many commentaries, in my other part 1 video, talking about this said new term that have been adopted. Some of you are like talking about how you guys also have the same thought. Like, why is it that there is something American, the other one American? Why is it that Caucasian they also have something related to America? Like, since every other person is a visitor, the only real indigenous people are the people with the copper color, like I saw and read, somewhere. Seriously. So enough of trying to make yourself as a pan color person as if you are the real people, like you are the real owners, trying to treat a minority in some certain way. That means you are also a minority. Like, every other person now is in the same class. If we have Black American, that means we have Hispanic American, we have the Caucasian American, we have the European American, we have the Asian and all of that. That means every other person is equal. There's no one that is the supremacy and all of that. Like, one thing about this year is that things are changing. Like tables are turning, and it's something that will just come as a funny thing, as something that let's joke about it, and before you know it, it's turning to reality. It's turning to reality, and this is what these people have been fighting for years to avoid. This equality is something that they have been fighting for years to avoid. That is why they decided to tame every other person. But in terms of theirs, they are the real people, the real Americans, the pan-colored, real white Americans, and all of that. Even on TV and all, if they want to say anything about Americans, show anything about the only people they bring to show the public is pan-colored people. And now, if they want to actually show things like that, they are just going to discriminate the way they used to discriminate other people. So they'll say, this is the European Americans and this is the Caucasian Americans. Like, oh my God, sorry, I'm laughing, but this is just powerful. This is powerful, and it's making a lot of people to have some, like, feel some type of way. But I know with time they're just going to come around. They'll agree with the terms of this new adoption. Anyway, lovelies, when I saw the second part, I said that I was just going to put up here to actually show you guys the reaction of white color people that definitely accepting the new term. And I hope with time, every other person that is getting angry about it, we have to adjust. Everyone will be equal and everything will be okay. Anyway, lovelies, why don't you just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please don't forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do yourself a huge favor to click on the subscription button, like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovely, please share this video, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.